Alright, what's going on, guys? I'm Hayden Collins, and today I'm going to be making a bit of a different video from the videos I've made the past 2 weeks. So for those of you who know, I've been making a video every single day for the entire month of October, and some of you may be here not even for the reason of knowing me for a while now or like knowing my channel. But today I kind of wanted to make a different kind of video where I sit down and talk about the topic of passion, because I feel like it's something that's really important, especially for people in my age range. You know, I'd say from the age of like 18 to 25, this really affects a lot of people, and I've been affected by it myself. So the thing that I want to talk about is basically never letting go of what you're passionate about or what you love. And the reason why this is because a lot of people have their definition of what they think a good life is. And I feel like a lot of people value their happiness or their fulfillment off of like what their definition is of a good life. I think a lot of these people have it aimed in the wrong direction, and that's kind of the reason why a lot of people have a lot of issues going on, including myself. I've struggled with that in the past. I feel like I struggled with it from the age of probably like 19 to 21. So like 3 years, you know, I've been kind of struggling with it. And basically what I'm trying to get to is the thing that makes me passionate is creating videos. When I first started college when I was 19, I wanted to go because I was passionate about YouTube. All I've really ever been passionate about growing up is creating videos and YouTube. From the age of like all the way as early as 12 to like 18, I always kind of wanted to just make content because, I mean, A, I enjoy like entertaining people, and B, I just like putting things out there in the world in which the way I see it. So like obviously I just feel like there's moments where when I'm having conversations with people, like my brain is just going and it can't stop. And sometimes I feel like it's hard for people to digest the way that like I communicate with them. So sometimes like when I create a video, it's a lot easier to show people what I mean instead of, you know, just trying to talk to them. Like a lot of people are better at just speaking their mind. And basically for a long time, I had this belief in my head that, you know, YouTube was just like this thing of my past where it was like this weird thing that I did at one point, and that's just a part of my past. You know, I wanted to like leave it in the past and not touch it and just move on and find that new thing. But then I realized like you only set like the definition that you want to set for something like YouTube. Like you can do a ton of different avenues with this platform, and that's the whole point. It's a platform. It's not the message, it's not the context, it's not the subject. Like I could make a video about anything, I could record anything, you know what I mean? So I think for a long time, it's just that I felt pigeonholed into like a certain aspect of YouTube. So I took a step away because I was like, I think I just don't have a place on this platform. I think after a while, I realized like I would always have these moments where in the years that I didn't do YouTube, where I was like, oh man, like this would be a creative idea. And I have so many videos privated, guys, you have no idea. Like in a way, I almost like never really stopped doing YouTube. I have probably like 40 videos that you guys have never even seen that are privated throughout the past 2 or 3 years. Ones that I literally fully edited, but just decided to not upload just because I was like, that's in my past. There's no point. Why would I even put it out there? But then I realized like, first off, it makes me happy. And second off, it makes other people happy when they watch my videos. Some people, it doesn't make them happy, but like, I think no matter what is happening, I feel like it kind of helps out the world or just the people in my lives and in my life. And even though I only get like, whatever, like, sometimes I only get 20 views on a video, sometimes I'll get over 100. I've gotten like a few thousand views on videos in the past, but the whole point isn't really about the numbers. It's so obvious. This is such an obvious message to some people. And I think sometimes with obvious topics or obvious messages, people kind of brush past them because they're so obvious when they should really take more time to let it linger and just live with them because they're super important and there's a reason why they're talked about so often. Like something I've always told people is that cliches are cliches for a reason. Like they don't just exist and they're not just oversaid for no reason. A lot of the whole point of cliches is they're said so often that they become repetitive and they become cheesy, and it's because there's a lot of truth to them. So I think with a lot of these things, you know, you got to remind yourself of the simple aspects of like, keep doing what you're passionate about, or don't get caught up in the numbers. Like things like that are really important. I think it's just, if you're feeling fulfilled with what you're doing what you should be doing. That's just, I think that's the bottom line, and nothing else really matters as long as it's not negatively impacting you or negatively impacting others. I think it's the best thing you could do with your life. It literally does not matter how much success you get from it, because like realistically you can tell yourself like, I'm getting success out of it because I feel good about it. And that's kind of the whole point of pursuing your passion and putting your passion first. And my definition of passion is YouTube, and I just wanted to talk about that because that's just my example, but everyone has their own reasons for why they do what they do, and people have their own passions. So whatever your passion is, or whatever it doesn't even have to be one singular thing. You could just pick something that you're passionate about and go down that road and see where it leads you, because like you don't really know where it's gonna end up, and no one has anything figured out. So it's kind of one of those things where you kind of just have to wing it with just even something that you feel a little bit good about. Like a good example of this is, let's say you feel good when you work out, you feel accomplished. Keep working out, don't stop. And just because you're not a bodybuilder doesn't mean that there isn't a route for you there. You know, you could become a nutritionist, you could become someone who is like a really good runner, you know what I mean? You could like go on and run marathons, and you could go inspire other people to be healthy, or you could just from going to the gym, you could end up living a long life, or you could help out your mental health. Like there's so many aspects of it. It's not just about like the main number one thing that people think about when they think of fitness, you know, that's just one example. Or like I even think about people who they wanted to become NBA players or NFL players, but instead they became the coach that ended up getting them to win like 6 rings. You know what I mean? Like you could be Phil Jackson. Not actually, but you get my point. It's like you don't know where the passion's gonna lead you, and just because it doesn't lead you to where you first expected, it doesn't mean it's still not where you're meant to be. So yeah, like I guess it's just, if you're doing something that you're not passionate about, you're wasting your time. It's the whole theory of like, you gotta stop building an empire with something that you don't even want to build to the end. You don't even want to build it to the end of your life. What's the point of continuing it on? If you spread yourself too thin, you're just not going to be able to like do the thing that you want to do. And I think another aspect that I should probably cover is like the power of saying no. And I feel like I can make a whole separate video on this, but I think it's really important to learn how to say no to people and not apologize for it, because what would you apologize for? It's your life. You literally cannot. You cannot be everywhere all the time for everyone. And you don't have all the time in the world. We only have so much time. And as I've gotten older, I've realized that truth. I mean, it's the older you get, the more time flies. And I feel like I even realized that by the time I was like 17, I realized like, man, like time goes fast, and it keeps picking up. So I don't know, guys, this is kind of like, I'm not even trying to be motivational. I'm just trying to get you guys to reflect on stuff and kind of make you think. I like making videos like this. If you guys want to see more videos like this, I could always make more of these sit down kind of commentating videos, because I do enjoy them. It's a change of pace. They are somewhat easier to make, but I also just enjoy them because I feel like I can give people more value by doing this. But I also do think there's a place for the funny skits or just like montage based work. I like to do it all. I just don't like to put myself into one spot with content. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.